Well, Joey, we are back for episode 15.
It's like just yesterday.
Yeah, time flies, right?
That's right.
So we today we're talking comfort drinks and comfort tech.
Yes.
So what in the world
That's
have
why
you
I wore
made?
the hoodie because I wanted to be comfortable.
Hey, we're gonna and later on I'm gonna describe a psychological concept that is why hoodies make people feel comfortable.
Perfect.
And
I
it's
like
not
it.
just hoodies; it's other things too.
Yeah.
But
Big
um,
oversized baggy clothes.
yes, yeah.
Being swaddled and things.
But I said comfort drinks. What have you made for us? Because I don't have a clue what to guess is in this.
Well, it's warm.
Oh,
So
that just told me what it was actually. And now I know what it is.
yes, this is a hot toddy
Yes. Okay.
because you're about to talk about things that make us physically comfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just being warm is comfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too comfortable. It's like being too warm is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but being warm is comfortable. If you're not feeling good, this is kind of the one bar drink that, you got a little head cold or something. You come in, it's a little cold outside, and you're like, I need something. I even had a guy who's not even a drinker, and he came in and he was like, hey, I feel like crap. This is months ago. It's too warm right now. He's like, I feel like crap, and my grandma used to do this thing where it was like bourbon and honey and like hot water maybe or something. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a hot toddy. And he's like, can you make me one? And I made him, maybe had two that night. And then I got a text from him a couple days ago and he was like, all right, that was so good and I need more. And what bourbon would you recommend?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, so well, look for one of these, whatever. And so he went to the liquor store and he got it. And next time my son was like, how'd it go? He's like, man, I drank him till the bottle was gone. And so he felt better.
Yeah.
Or at least it knocked him out. So it's better than NyQuil. But, so whether it's cold outside, whether you're just not feeling well, if you're looking for a certain level of comfortability physically, this felt like the right match for that. So Hot Toddies, if you're not familiar, I don't know why they're called Hot Toddies.
Well, one reason is because they're hot.
They're hot for sure, but it sounds like a Chippendale dancer. Like, next on stage, Hot Toddy. And he comes out in a, bow tie. But, on that image, the bourbon, I went with the rye in this one.
Yeah.
Gives a little more spice.
Yeah.
And
you definitely get that.
Yeah. So 2 ounces of bourbon, about a half ounce of honey, and about a half ounce of lemon juice, and then hot water.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just did, talking about tech, I have a little espresso machine over there, a little Keurig style espresso machine, and I just ran it with no pod just to get hot water.
There you go.
Because we're not plumbing, this place is 200 years old. So.
Well, this is good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, makes me feel good in my soul.
Yeah, you get the honey and the lemon together.
Yeah.
And you feel the heat in your chest.
Yeah.
And I can see cold day or not feeling good, how it would warm you up on the inside.
It really does.
And
I feel comforted physically already.
Yeah, it's crazy to say that because like I get really hot really easy, and being too hot is uncomfortable. Imagine that. Yeah. But this, even though it warms you up, like it's not warming me in a way that would make me uncomfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
it's like soup.
Yeah.
Like alcoholic soup.
Yeah.
You need chicken broth. You can put chicken broth in this, I guess, if you really wanted to. Why not? Just warm up some chicken broth on the stove or the microwave. Put that in instead of water. Just a little chicken flavored toddy.
Come late fall, winter time, I'm going to be asking for some of these.
Well, and if you have a sore throat, like, man, that heat, that honey, the honey will coat your throat. It'll kind of break through the crud in there, and it's good. It's good stuff. Feels weird to talk about this when it's 80 degrees outside.
But it's good nonetheless. So that's awesome. Well, speaking of physical comfort, we got a couple different sections today. The first section is going to be active comfort. It's biohacking gear, basically. Okay. We're talking about getting physically comfortable.
I just looked at your notes. You don't want to know what I thought that would say.
I know what you thought that word said, because the very first thing I've got in my notes here is the vagal nerve stimulators.
Yep.
Apollo Neuro.
Extra letters in there.
Yes, Apollo Neuro and Sensate. They do this, but essentially what these are is they are little massagers with specific frequencies.
Not the word I thought.
Nope. And it goes to the parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
That's the part of your nervous system that says whether or not you're doing fight or flight.
Okay.
Okay. So what it does, they have Apollo Neuro has a wristband that sits on your arm, and it goes up, and a lot of times.
So it's like a watch.
Wristband, yeah.
Okay, nice.
But it'll vibrate against it. It'll send these sensations up your body through your nerves and go into basically your fight or flight system that's in your body to tell you to calm down.
Like interrupts it.
Yes. Think of the bone conductor headphones. Think of those, but instead of like drowning out the world, you're drowning out the stress of the world instead. So that it's neat, the kind of things that we can do with tech, and when you start to realize that your body behaves in different ways.
How does that work for like anxiety?
Well, so the parasympathetic system inside your body is reacting to something, and whenever you have the fight or flight response, your cortisol levels rise, and which is the same byproduct of anxiety. Your cortisol levels are rising. That's a stress hormone. But this, because of the going against the vagus nerve, it actually reduces that anxiety and that cortisol level, because you're basically telling your body you don't have to be in a state of fight or flight at this point.
Okay.
I actually, because of this podcast, was looking into this, and I'm like, this may be something that I need to do for myself, just to deal with I've got some social anxiety sometimes, and just different things from who I am as a person. But
yeah, I think of my daughter and like kids in her generation, early 20s to seems, I don't know, with social media or whatever, there's just a lot more anxiety in younger people.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily relate to that. Lately I've had anxiety, but I've never been an anxious person. And so, but I'm just thinking, like, if something like that for a younger crowd or anybody that's just anxious at all, that might be a good application.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do more research into this and see if I can learn more about it and how reputable it is. Because if it's something that truly does show signs of working, they actually use the same thing for other things. If they have massagers that go around your neck and hit the same vagus nerve, and it fights inflammation. Or you can do it down in your knees and your joints and stuff, where that vibration will actually eliminate some of the inflammation you have in your body. So it's got more use cases than just fighting stress levels. But that use case, to me, it would be very interesting to see how well it actually works.
No.
So I'm going to look up more about it and see if I can maybe come up with some hardware and do some test cases. But this is essentially biometric trust. We are trusting an algorithm or the machine to tell us we are stressed and then let it fix the issue on its own. So these little stimulators, they say, hey, you're getting stressed out, and they start to vibrate again, and tones you down a little bit. So, it's cool, I think. More results pending. The next thing on the list, things that make you physically comfortable, that hacks your system, is circadian lighting. So we talked about smart homes and smart home tech. Last week we talked about, or last week's episode, we talked about like lighting you might do for a party and things of that nature in your home bar. But this is something different. And I think we alluded to it in the smart home episode. But circadian lighting is essentially systems that mimic sunset, and they shift the colors in your home. So, you might have it super bright during the middle of the day, and then you may go to, softer colors, things that aren't, a little bit more orangey, a little bit more red in your colors, so that you're imitating the sunset as the sun is going down. So that if you're stuck in your home all day because you're working or, you're doing whatever, and you can't spend that time outside in the sun, then that sunset is going to start happening, and you're telling your body it's time for the evening to start. Because, you know, back in the day, people worked outside all the time.
Sure.
If you were farmers or whatever, you worked outside. You were just outside all the time. So outside meant that you lived by the light outside. And that is how your body is supposed to live.
Yeah.
We, now in our new advanced world that we live in, have lights everywhere. So we can just do whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want,
Right.
because we got lights to see. Well, your body is not supposed to do that, so you don't go into the restful states you're supposed to. So circadian lighting is like, hey, we're going to tone this light down to a level that imitates the sun, and then in the morning we're going to bring it up that imitates the sun coming up, and in a way that your circadian rhythm is, you know, kind of balanced every day. At the same token, if you there's something called environmental congruence. So when tech aligns with your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, your brain stops fighting your surroundings. Okay, so it makes you more comfortable. You create this safe harbor effect. It's very similar. If you walk into a dive bar versus a hospital room, the colors are going to be drastically different.
Oh, sure.
A hospital is going to be bright. It's going to be, you know,
Sterile.
yeah, you get this feeling of white and clean and bright and sterile.
Harsh.
You go into a dive bar, you're going to see darker colors. You're going to see, you know, a better lighting, not, you know, super bright, high Kelvin, but more of a warm color setting. You know, we got brick here. We got the kind of the darker lights, which isn't fantastic for doing a podcast, but it's fantastic for creating an environment where people feel safe and comfortable. It's actually proven, you know, that 15 to 30 minutes in the morning of being out in the sun produces serotonin and vitamin D. It gives you the happy hormones to be out in the sun first thing in the morning. So tech is trying to not necessarily replace that feeling, but be supplemental to it if you can't get that every day. The next thing is smart weighted blankets. Okay, you have is it not a comforter? What is it? The cooling
mattress pad.
Mattress pad.
It's a mattress pad that goes under my fitted sheet,
and
it's not cooling; it's heated.
Heated, yeah.
Which was fantastic this winter because this winter was brutal. But it's dual zone too, so my wife is always cold, and I'm very rarely cold. But you know, when it's 20 degrees as a high for a week straight, I'm like, you don't really want to get into cold sheets, so I put it on low for like, and it has a timer. You can, you know, power fluctuation. You can set it from low to high, and everything in between. I think it's like a 10 scale. And then you can set a timer so it'll go for like an hour, go up to like 8 hours. Yeah. So you can do it all night if you want. I just do it for, you know, I'll come in, set it for the low setting for an hour, and then I'll brush my teeth and do all the things. When I get in bed, it just takes the chill out of the sheets. Yeah. And that's great. She'll use it when it's 60 degrees outside. Yeah. Has it on 4, and she's like, I'm cold. And I'm like, I mean, that's okay.
That's why you got it.
That's why we got it. It's been one of the coolest gadgets, and it was probably $100 on Amazon. Yeah. Best money spent. It's way cheaper than jacking your heat bill up. Yeah. All winter long. So yeah.
Well, so in the same token, the smart weighted blankets, there's something called an 8 Sleep pod. 8 Sleep, I think, is the brand, and they have several different kinds of pods, but it is a water cooled topper for your bed. Okay. It adjusts the bed temp based on your sleep stage. The 8 Sleep pod has lots of features. Okay, one of the things it can do is it can adjust elevation automatically. You know, the head can go up or down, the foot can go up or down, the middle, I think, can go up and down. But it also adjusts the temperature. Okay. So if you're in a deep sleep, it's going to drop that temperature down. If you are starting to wake up, it's going to warm that temperature up. Whether you are trying to wake up because it's time to wake up, or if it's like, hey, you're supposed to be sleeping right now, so let me adjust the temperature accordingly to get you back to that sleeping, restful state.
Interesting. Can you sync it with your circadian lighting?
Oh, I bet you could.
The sun's coming up, so it's going to warm up here.
Yeah, I bet you could.
That'd be kind of fun.
But I mentioned there's a concept in psychology about why, what makes you feel comfortable when you put a sweater on. That concept is proprioceptive input. Your brain feels safe when it's being given a hug. Okay, so sweaters do that for us. They give us a hug. Different people have different responses to different things, and not everybody has a positive response to being hugged. There can be lots of reasons for that, lots of which are negative, but some of them are just the human body responds differently to different inputs.
Sure.
But in general, to receive a hug gives you a sense of comfort for most average people.
Sure.
And so that input that we get, where you feel like you're being held, it gives you a sense of calm and a sense of comfort. And ergo, being in a sweater, being in a hoodie, being in a large oversized shirt, being in a bed that wraps you up in temperature, makes you warm as you're waking up and gives you that comfortable feeling. All of those things are ways for you to kind of biohack your brain to feel more comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, we had somebody that worked with us last year, and she was an anti-hugger. Didn't want to be touched at all. Like, if you tried to comfort her with a hug, she would need those bracelets that calmed her fight or flight.
Yeah.
So your note says smart way to blanket, but then it says water cooled topper. So I'm confused. Is it like a bed topper, mattress topper, or does it go over top of you?
Both.
Oh.
But it's not just like
people sandwich.
Right. So, but it's not just electrical wires that go through it to warm you. It's actually the water inside is cooling you. Kind of like a water bed.
Yeah, that was my next question. If it was a topper, do you get that kind of fluctuation and like, is it like a water bed where the water would shift? And
I don't know. That'd be a good question to find out.
Do I need C-bands to go to sleep at
night? Yeah, Dramamine. And I really don't know. That'd be something I would need to look into.
I wonder. My wife gets really motion sick on boats and stuff, like on the ocean, not lakes so much, but like when there's big tide.
Yeah.
She had a waterbed. I wonder if there's any correlation between people that grew up with waterbeds and people that have motion sickness now.
That is a good question. Now here's just something. You can have the same kind of being tossed in the wave feeling on a lake versus in the ocean. That one doesn't bother you. Typically, if you're on a lake, you can see land, and having something to fixate on where you can see the land, it allows you to fixate on that, and then your body, you have a point of reference for your body being stable. Whereas on the ocean, you get to places out on the ocean where you can't see land.
Sure.
And because you can't see the land, you have to focus on, you have to find a focal point and focus on it if you get seasickness, because you need something to bring your body back to a stabilization period. Not everybody's that way. Again, every person, every individual has a different way they respond to different stimuli, but that's one of those things that I learned. I went to Key West last year and went out on the ocean. And one day was not so good, but it was a day I was snorkeling and took in a lot of salt water, and gosh, that ride back was brutal. But the next day we were out on a different kind of boat, and we weren't we weren't scuba diving is what we did the first day.
Yep.
And I didn't take in a bunch of the ocean water, and it was a beautiful ride. It was, mostly just going by, it was a sailboat with a motor. Most of the trip was using the sails, and it was awesome. But you learn little things when you're doing stuff like that. So that's one of those things that I learned.
Interesting.
What kind of tech, to round out this section, do you have, other than the bed thing, that gives you comfort?
I brought something to show and tell.
Okay.
This.
What in the world?
The video game Mega Man.
Yes, a little bit on Nintendo 64.
This is what I feel like when I wear this. I feel like Mega Man, and I can shoot lasers and stuff. But this is a hand massager.
Okay.
I do a lot with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously behind a bar, but you know, I do a lot of yard work. I do a lot of construction. I do a lot of baking, things like that. So I have copper gloves that I will wear.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of low tech, but um, and those are fantastic. They're compression gloves, and so they help my hands. I don't know. I don't want to call arthritis, but it feels like arthritis.
Yeah.
In my hands. But my wife got me this this past holiday season because during the holidays I do a lot of cake balls.
Yeah.
And so when you're dipping cake balls, you're like pinching a toothpick to dip the balls into chocolate and stuff like that. And it's a lot of kind of fine motor skills and a lot of long. And I do thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
So doing that over and over again, my hands can get really. So she got me this hand massager, and the hand massager is pretty fantastic. And so you put it in there, and it's like those things at the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Where it kind of like squeezes, you get your blood pressure and things like that. But it's got so many different settings. Like right now, it's squeezing the crap out of my hand. But you can change the settings, and it'll actually. Ooh, that one feels good. It actually cools. There's a fan feature. There's a heating feature. Right now, I've got this thing that's kind of like rotating on my palm.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And then you can have a timer setting. Not that you want to fall asleep with this thing on, but I mean, you can.
Okay, so real quick.
You can fight an army of evil robots with it too, I guess. But.
So I've got a really good friend, basically a brother to me. His name is Greg, but he really enjoyed the Mega Man games.
Yeah.
So he is, in his spare time, which is not very much, he is actually coding and making a sequel-ish to the first game. And there's some.
As hard as the first game.
Well, yeah, a lot of the same mechanics. There's some things with Capcom and legalities and stuff on whether or not he's going to be able to actually do this game. But so Greg,
it just changes the name from Mega Man to like Ultraman or.
Well, it is the Mega Man characters and everything. I mean, it's fantastic. Yeah. But so Greg, I know you're probably listening to this instead of watching this. Mark this time for you to go to the YouTube video and see the thing that Joey is wearing.
It's a black Mega Buster. I'm just gonna tell you, it's a black Mega Buster. So I can battle Heat Man and take his flame abilities and pretend like I'm shooting them back at the water guy.
Yeah.
So I love Mega Man. I mean, I was a big Mega Man nerd. Like Mega Man 1 was stupid hard, but Mega Man 2 and 3, I remember being at a birthday party for some kid that. It was so random. I was invited to this because I met this kid in like second grade maybe, and barely remembered him. But I don't know if he was just at the time kind of a nerdy kid that got picked on a lot.
Yeah.
And I was the nice one to him or something. But I remember like a year or two after, like I hadn't seen him in a while. I got a text and like, hey, come to my birthday party.
Yeah.
Text, you know what I mean? It was like the 80s, 90s. Nobody text anything. Anyway, I ended up at this birthday party for this kid I had known, and it was a sleepover, and there was all these like 4 or 5 other boys that I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I was a super shy kid. I was an introvert. I'm still an introvert. And the one great unifier was that they were playing Mega Man in his basement, and they got stuck in this spot, and I was like, I got it. I picked up the controller and I played through the board and I beat it, and then we went all the way to Wily's Castle at the end, and everybody's like, man, you're really good at Mega Man. All of a sudden I was the star of this guy's birthday party.
There you go.
Because of Mega Man, so yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I would be happy to play his sequel.
Yeah. Side
note, kind of plays into part 2, but because we're talking about Mega Man, we just moved our daughter to Houston, and she was doing this thing, I don't know if she still does, but she was doing this thing where she was streaming on Twitch, all these video games. She had a Switch and PC and all that. It's mostly PC now, but I had given her a couple of my Switch games to play, and I was like, if you want to stream, you can. So anyway, when we moved her, I found a couple of my Zelda game and another one, and I was like, do you still need these? She's like, no, I was going to give them back to you. Well, I got my Mega Man 11 back.
There you go.
So stupid hard. Like that game came out like brand new a couple of years ago, so it's like super late sequel to a really early franchise, and I was like, I'm gonna tear this game up. No, that game's kicking my butt.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe one day when I'm not doing a million things, I'll get back and play Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
So that'll be my comfort tech. Mega Man 11.
There you go. My the tech that I have in my house right now that gives me physical comfort. I have Alexa. We've talked about that before. My thermostat is Alexa controlled, and my ceiling fan is. And I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, it's got a cooling fan. Now you're Mega Man.
That is such a weird feeling.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like, have you ever seen, what was that movie called? The Mummy?
With Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the movies, they went into a pyramid or wherever they went, and there was these roaches or whatever that got in scarabs that got inside their skin. That's what that feels like.
It feels like a scarab crawling around under your skin.
Yeah.
That's that thing that comes up and like rotates in your palm.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's cool though. Like you sit with that while you're like Netflix and chilling at night, and you're like, oh, my hands feel good now. So.
I can see the first 30 seconds. You're like, what in the world is this? I can see where if you just did this for 30 minutes or so, that you would have a very different feeling of comfort.
Yeah. It massages your hand. Like, who wants to sit and just massage your hand for 30 minutes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think my wife got tired of massaging my hands or me asking her to do it or watching me try to massage my own hands. She's like, I got you this. And I was like, and it's great because it's rechargeable.
Yeah.
So I just plug it in when it's got almost a full battery. But yeah. Anyway, didn't mean to turn to a plug for a hand massager, but it's,
no, that's really cool actually.
Yeah. It's another one of those like sharper image kind of tech things you can probably find at Marshall's.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Marshall's. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to.
You just hold down the power button, it'll turn off.
I was like in a pause mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The other thing I like that's similar to this is one of those like foot bath soaker things. Yeah. And that like massages your feet and all that too. That's so nice at the end of a long day. So, and a hot tub.
Oh, always a hot tub.
Hot tub.
That's for sure.
Shout out to hot tubs. Just a good shout back. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
But I mentioned Alexa that I've got a thermostat and ceiling fan, and it's very nice. And I've got smart lights and stuff too that tie into it. But I can, when I get done running, before I walk into the house, I can have my Alexa app on my phone already pulled up, and I can say, okay, turn the ceiling fan to 10, max them all the way, turn the air on full blast, let it get blowing, and turn my bedroom fan on so that the air is circulating in the upstairs of my house. So that the moment I walk in, because I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I just ran 3 miles, I'm like, gosh, I'm miserable now. The moment I walk in the house, a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
And then
you need a weighted blanket that'll cool your stuff.
Yeah.
Too,
well, yeah. So and that's one of the things is like I do all of that and I take a shower, and the end of my shower every single time I get out of the shower is I turn it all the way to cold. To number one, to close my pores, because that's one way of keeping yourself from getting sick. But number two is I'm trying to cool my body temperature down, because the moment I get out of the shower, I'm going to be
cold anyway.
No, I'm going to be hot because I'm like always hot. So I turn it as cold as I possibly can, get out of the shower, and it's hot in the bathroom or whatever. And so then I walk out of the bathroom, and now I've got, cooled living room and cooled bedroom and everything.
Your fans are on 10.
Yeah, exactly. So that gives me a little bit of comfort, and I'm not just like constantly dying and being sweaty all the time. So, but that is tech for getting you physically comfortable. I was not aware that you were bringing show and tell, and I think that's cool. That's awesome.
I love it.
That's what I need for when I'm playing games on my computer for too long.
That's right. Yeah, your hands cramp up. Or if you're driving for too long, maybe maybe you have a job where you're driving, delivery or whatever, truck driver. So, I mean, stuff like that. It's like we take for granted. I think we push ourselves too physically all the time.
Yeah.
And so just to have that thing. I mean, even hell, like a heating pad.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing a lot of physical work in the yard or something, just something you could come in and sit on a heating pad. You know, or I got my wife a warmie for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know the warmie things, but they start off as like stuffed animals and you can microwave them. They got
Oh,
all these
yeah,
like
yeah.
micro beads and they
Yeah.
smell like lavender. I got her one that's just like a weighted thing that she can microwave and put over her neck.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, super low tech, but
My mom gets really bad headaches sometimes and migraines and things. And that's one of the things that she does is she'll put one of those in the microwave, heat it for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, then put it on her neck. And that's a sense of comfort that she gets for a few minutes. And it does fight against the headaches a lot of times. So, but that's kind of part one. Yeah. That's physical comfort.
Your drink's empty, so let's recharge.
That's right. Recharge. We will be back for round two in just a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, part two, Joey. We are back for that. And we're going to be talking about the old reliable technology, I mean, kind of the passive comfort, technostalgia. Mm-hmm. And you have selected a drink that I think I can guess what it is by how it looks.
No introduction.
Mm-hmm.
This is the old reliable himself. This one harkens back to episode 1.
Yep.
But this is an old fashioned, obviously. Even you at home should be able to tell what this beauty is.
Mm-hmm.
But I stuck with the same weeded bourbon we put in the Hot Toddy just for, sake of unity. I don't know. That wasn't the word I was thinking of, but the other word is But synchronicity, I think, is what I was going for. But yeah, so we're drinking Green River. Shout out to Green River because they're fantastic. Our well bourbon is a Green River product, and so much of what they do is just incredible.
Yeah.
And the more I hear about other local distilleries around us that are sourcing stuff, a lot of them are sourcing from Green River.
Oh, okay.
And that's pretty cool because that just goes to show how awesome Green River is as a distillery, how good their product is. And I mean, honestly, if you go to the store and grab a bottle of Green River, you're talking $25-$30.
Yeah.
And it hits all the right marks where you can sip it neat.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a cocktail with it.
Yeah.
They have a wide expression from bourbon to weeded bourbon to rye. They have a full proof.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. In May, I believe, they're coming out with a honey barrel aged bourbon.
Okay.
And so, I've recently made connections with my local Green River rep. And so we're going to do some dinners and stuff and do some events and get to know them a little bit better and support the brand a little bit more because it's just everything I've had from Green River has been exceptional. And I just, I can't say enough good things about it.
Well, yeah, when I come here, actually just last night I got here and I got here late, super late, because I had other plans that I attended. Then got here right as basically you guys were trying to close.
Yeah.
And walked into the bar and the first thing I ordered, hey, give me a double Green River.
There you go.
Green River's just been fantastic. And so if I'm doing old fashions, it's either Bullet or Green River.
Yeah.
And Green River is just a good liquor to put in a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Or good bourbon.
A cool bottle shape. I mean, it's a horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the bottom of the bottle, it's a horseshoe. So you got 3 sides of the bottle are rounded. So it's really not even 3 sides, just kind of one rounded side.
Yeah.
And then you have a flat side. So the bottle's super cool. Kind of the emblem of where we are. The tavern here has a horse in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the horse iconography.
Yeah.
Horses are very Kentucky.
Yeah.
With the Derby and everything else. And so, yeah, it's a really cool Kentucky brand out of Owensboro, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe from here. So, it's the biggest distillery in Western Kentucky.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
And a lot of them are, we got a lot of really great distilleries around here. But yeah, as far as Western Kentucky goes, Owensboro, I don't know, I think it's probably anything west of I-65. If I had to guess, 65 runs up through, like Elizabethtown and Bardstown and all that Louisville. That's kind of central Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then you go East Kentucky's Lexington. That
Yeah.
So Western Kentucky, we've got a lot of really great small kind of craft bourbon distilleries, and a lot of them up and coming. A lot of big names in the space. The Beam family is one. Another distillery I made contact with, and they've got a lot of really great products. Jackson Purchase is the distillery. I don't know why I'm rabbit trailing on this, but they're about an hour west of here, like as far west as you can go. I think they're on the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, Craig Beam's like 7th generation distiller, going back to Jim. Been doing it since the 80s. So I mean, we've got a lot of really cool Western Kentucky pedigrees.
Yeah.
A lot of cool new ones that are popping up in Paducah, which is like an hour north of us. So yeah, some of the best bourbons. I mean, you walk into a liquor store, it is humbling the amount of bourbons that are on the shelves these days. And every time you go in there, there's 5 more.
Yeah.
You know, and but I will tell you, the stuff that I've had here locally is some of the best I've had ever.
Yeah.
So, and I did just come from Texas, moving my daughter a little bit ago. There's some really good Texas bourbons too, which is weird. But
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but Western Kentucky, we'll take Green River for the win.
Yes, we will. But the whole point of that, right, is that this is the old reliable. Yeah. This is the comfort tech or the comfort drink that you can always rely on.
Yep. Makes my soul feel at ease. It's like vinyl and a good cigar.
And so your key right there is vinyl, right? So what's the thing that makes you feel comfortable, not physically comfortable, but you're going back to an earlier stage in your life that gives you that nostalgic feel in tech, and it makes you like have a moment of enjoyment, right? And you're just like, hey, I'm comfortable with this. I don't need all the fancy gadgets. Last week we talked about fancy gadgets.
Yeah.
We talked about fancy bar tools and Bartesians and Barsys 360, and then we talked about LEDs and party automation and NFC tags and stuff. That's all well and good. That has its place. Sometimes you just want to go in and have a bar with 1 or 2 bottles of Green River, maybe wheated and rye.
Absolutely.
And maybe an orange, and you use a knife to cut it. So sometimes the way to feel the most comfortable is by putting the work in and by enjoying yourself.
Well, to put the work in, I think we're made to use our hands.
Yeah.
To feel everything needs to be tactile. There's so much digital these days.
Right.
So I think having that tactility, getting out, working in the garden, getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of getting my hands sticky and messy and battering chicken and all that, but there's a comfort in it.
Right.
But as far as vinyl goes, I mean, the thing, and my kids are half my age, but, and it's like imparting to them, because they never knew a time when we didn't have an internet.
Yeah.
They almost don't remember a time we didn't have streaming services.
Yeah.
And kids these days are used to getting everything all the time whenever they want it, which has ruined America. But, the thing I try to impart with them, and they both have record players now, and they both, have a collection that's beginning to grow. But, like, my big thing with vinyl, bourbon, cigars, that kind of stuff is like, you don't put on a vinyl record to go run a whole bunch of errands.
Yeah.
You don't put on a vinyl record and slap on your headphones and go run 4 miles.
Right.
You put on a vinyl record when you're going to sit down and you want to relax.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to take a few moments and I'm not doing anything. Pour a little bourbon. I'm going to light the cigar. And you're just going to chill. Right? And you can't go very far because you have maybe 4 songs before you have to flip the disc over.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like vinyl is a commitment. And for me, psychologically, vinyl is a commitment that, hey, I'm going to take this moment for me and I'm going to relax here for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And so whatever you need to do in that, sure, you can invite your friends to be part of that experience, but vinyl is an experience.
Yeah.
Right? And it's as much like soul food, the stuff that recharges your soul, And so I appreciate it. And the stuff that I buy on vinyl, like if I like one song from an artist, I'm just gonna go on Amazon and buy the MP3.
Yeah.
You know, a vinyl, buying an album on vinyl is a different kind of commitment because you're like, I need to like this band and I need to like at least most of the songs on this album.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why am I gonna take the time to sit and life moves way too fast. So to take the time and say, I'm going to commit this 40 minutes to this album, it better be a damn good album.
Yeah.
You know? And so, and most of the stuff, like, I love rap and hip hop and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that in vinyl.
No.
You know, I'm not
that might sound a little weird.
Yeah, I'm not going to do super high energy. It's going to be more chill. You know, Chris Stapleton, Leon Bridges, Need to Breathe, Mumford & Sons. Like, that tends to be the vinyl I put on the most.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, like AC/DC's right here, and I do have like Imagine Dragons and stuff like that. I do have some rock albums that just sometimes you just want to, you know, rock out. But, you know, that's the psychology of my old school technology.
Right. So, yeah, but and it makes so much sense because, you know, people nowadays are going back to having dedicated devices, right? So a vinyl record player is a dedicated device. Its function is its purpose, is its thing. That's what it's for. So there's similar things like, you know, iPods, MP3 players, Game Boys, digital cameras. Their function is their purpose. They don't have a multi-function property to them, right?
Whereas this thing is the Swiss Army knife of all of those things you just mentioned.
Exactly. So in psychology, we have a concept called digital minimalism. You're getting rid of notifications. You're getting rid of the lack of requirements, the lack of doom scrolling. All of these, like all those things go away. Because for me, I pull my phone out to check, you know, a text message. A text message leads to, now I'm checking my emails.
Oh, yeah.
Checking my emails leads to, and this is all the problems I have from work that I have to attend to on Monday morning. Or, you know, it's Thursday night at 8 o'clock and I'm like, I'd rather be enjoying Extreme Bar Bingo at the tavern. Why am I looking at work emails?
Absolutely.
So, but the point is people are going back to single function devices so that they can put this thing away. Because this thing, you know, it goes back to what you said earlier, or one portion of what you said earlier is like we're ruining who we are in America and other countries too as humans by having a function that makes everything so easy that now instead of easy, it's now chaos.
Yeah.
It's an overindulgence in technology and where you can have everything all at once, all the time, is causing people to, you know, spend their hours doom scrolling. And I have that same problem where I will be at home watching TV and then I'm scrolling on my phone at the same time with a secondary screen. And it's like, this thing allows me to do all the things that I want to do at one time.
But that's not healthy.
Exactly. It's not. So what is really nice is every so often we'll have a power outage in this town that will kick us out for a couple of days, whether that's from a storm or whatever.
Often,
like once or twice a year probably, and it'd be at least a 3-day outage. Those moments are so nice because when I go home, my light is from a candle, and I'm going to pull out a Game Boy, and I'm going to play games on the Game Boy until the battery dies. That's it.
And then you pull out some more triple or double A's. And
exactly. Yeah. And so that to me gives me a better feeling of comfort than...
We read a book. We put a puzzle together.
Yeah, well, you read a book as long as you have light. No, I do have a generator, so I can power some things, but the point is that sometimes going away from technology or going away from the multi-function technology, you know, the conveniences of modern day smartphones, that's where you can start to get a little bit more comfort. And you mentioned...
anxiety goes away too, right?
It does, yeah. Because now all of a sudden, I don't care what's happening at work. It's like, they can't do anything either.
I don't care what's going on in the Middle East. I don't care what's going, you know, it's all about this moment right here.
Yes.
And that's it.
Me on my recliner with my dog and Game Boy book, whatever it might be. But it's just a few moments of calm before the next storm.
That's right.
But it's all part of the analog rituals, right? So we mentioned rituals several times this season, but it's the feel and the sound of something classic, that nostalgia. A mechanical keyboard, when you're pressing the keys on a keyboard, right? So like standard regular keyboards, you press a button, you don't really hear the sound. But a mechanical gaming keyboard, you hear the sound, and that tactile feeling of that sound brings you to the moment, right? It allows you to truly be in the moment of the game, as opposed to, I click a button and I don't hear any sounds. So my button presses don't have an impact on what I'm doing, kind of thing. But there's something called embodied cognition that describes that. It's the physical actions, like putting a needle on a record, like the thunk of a mechanical keyboard, that anchor that brain to the present moment. Going away from the physical a little bit to more of the logical part of your brain, there is a CLI and GUI. CLI is command line interface. GUI is graphical user interface. That's how we program networked equipment. Okay. And back in the, it's not just networking equipment, but back in the day, Windows operating system was a command line interface. It was just like you wrote a command, wrote a command, wrote a command. Kind of like what we were doing with Linux the other day, a couple weeks ago.
Whenever.
Yeah. But so CLI requires more knowledge. It requires intentionality. GUI is a big button on the screen that you press because it said, submit or whatever. So when you have to know the command line interface, you have more knowledge about the subject, right? So I learned on command line for Cisco equipment. Then I took my job that I have now and used Ubiquiti equipment with a graphical interface. Because of my knowledge of the command line and Cisco is why I understand all the things that I'm pressing on Ubiquiti's graphical user interface. But I train in, new techs and stuff that come on with us. And I'm like, okay, here's the button you press when you want to do this thing. Sure. And they're like, I have no idea why I'm pressing this button. Right. Like, other than the fact that you just told me that's what I need to press. I'm like, in command line, you would put in about 60 commands to do what this big magic button does. And these are the reasons why you would do these commands. So that it's the intentionality and the knowledge that is required is the same reason why we have a preference for those analog things that we're doing with technology, mechanical keyboards, vinyl record players, that kind of thing, because there's more of a intentionality to them. And when you're more intentional, you can be more relaxed and more comfortable because it's on purpose. Sure. As opposed to, I clicked the button and it did the thing. Right. So there's also the idea of the IKEA effect. If you buy a table, you buy a chair, you put that table or chair together, right? Which to you in a bar setting, we'll go away from tables and chairs, but if you make a drink versus you pour a pre-mixed drink, which drink to you is going to taste better?
Oh, hands down, it's the one you make.
Yeah, because there was an intentionality behind you mixing the ingredients. Sure. There was something about that moment where, maybe it took an extra 3 or 4 minutes to make the drink versus you just, putting a pot into a Bartesian and putting the cup under it, and now all of a sudden you have a drink.
Some canned cocktail or whatever.
Right. So, but for that 3 or 4 minutes extra, there was intentionality, there was purpose, there was function. So at the end of it, you got to drink the fruit of your labor, basically, and you got to see how good you did. And if it tasted really good, then you also get the dopamine results of, hey, I did a good job on making this drink.
That's right.
Whereas if you buy a pre-mixed, pre-canned cocktail, you're like,
opened a can.
Yeah, I opened a can and they did a good job making a drink. You don't, it's not the same comfortable feeling or the same psychological feeling.
Right.
In the same token, there's cognitive legibility. With modern tech, you can't look at something and know how it works because it's got all these sensors and all this code inside of it. Whereas old technology or older technology, you could see everything that was happening. Think of gears. Okay. if you have a gear on a bicycle and another gear on a bicycle, and you can watch the chain go around, you can see how that tech is working, right?
Sure.
But an e-bike has a motor in it, and while you still see the gears on an e-bike, you can't see everything that's happening.
Right.
And because you can't see what's happening, it gives you this sense of the unknown. So not that bikes are going to stress anybody out, but if you had to fix that bike, a bike with a chain and 2 gears is very easy to fix. Then, hey, I've got a chain, I've got 5 gears on the back and 3 gears on the front, and I've got a motor that is electric that goes to the handlebars.
Circuits and things.
Yeah, so all of a sudden it becomes more stressful.
Yep.
Sometimes the older is the better. And speaking of the older being the better, anemia, I definitely pronounced that wrong, but it's the nostalgia for a time you never lived through. I think this is kind of the idea behind what you're kind of instilling in your kids, because it's newer generations using technology of older generations that they didn't experience because they had to, but because they could, and it creates a different lifestyle for them. The examples I have written down are camcorders. You know, there's lots of people now who walk around with like old school digital camcorders instead of just using their smartphone for everything.
Sure.
Or maybe they're using wired headphones instead of Bluetooth headphones, because you always got that wired connection. You know, it's always going to be stable.
Yep. When we were in Texas recently, and I can't remember where we were, bar, restaurant or something, probably a barbecue place. And this girl, probably 12, 13, came up, had a little digital camera, little screen on it, and then I'm like, that's an odd choice for you.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's interesting that you
my sister and brother-in-law got their kids cameras that print pictures, like an old style, like the picture back in the day you would get it would print a picture. Yeah, like a Polaroid. But it's a digital camera that does a Polaroid picture.
Okay.
And they're not the most advanced technology, but it was supposed to be for the nostalgia of the old timey kind of stuff.
Sure.
But I have a printed picture of my dog that my niece took. That is in my truck all the time. Like it's just a cute little thing. But all 3 kids, they were running around with the cameras and they're taking pictures and printing stuff out, and it was kind of a cool little thing. And they don't get it. They don't understand why it makes a difference to us as adults.
Yeah.
Why like that moment is such a cherished moment. They're just having fun with a camera.
Sure.
But to us, it's like, hey, when we were growing up, those are the kind of cameras that we used, only there was no digital aspect to it whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So
we had to pay a ridiculous amount of money to develop film.
Yeah, exactly. It was amazing when they went from a 1-week turnaround on photo development to a 2-week or 2-hour.
Yeah. And
then they had 1-hour photo development. I'm like, man, life is getting crazy. And now you just put an SD card in it and stick it on your computer and you're good to go. But the last thing to round out this section is, technology is so strange. 8K, we talk about 4K all the time, but we have 8K photos. We have AI photos now that are generated. And they give people anxiety because the pictures are too real. Especially an AI generated image where everything is beautiful and stunning.
Yeah.
It gives people anxiety because now they have this obscure reference for what they have to live to be. You think about, they used to warn people, young girls would look at magazines and that's the image of perfection that they were trying to reach now. Yeah. It's way worse with AI and with 8K photos because you're seeing every little detail of a person. And now you're like, well, but I have this freckle in this spot and there's no freckle on this AI generated picture. And so there was low-res tech and pictures and cameras gave this layer of abstraction to a human body or to a scene that didn't cause anxiety, it just caused a memory. And so when you were looking at the memory, this is a beautiful moment in time, not this is, some lady at my brother's wedding that I now have to live up to their facial structure and I can't do that kind of thing. You go away from the negative and just remember.
Well, and I mean, not only that, but I think there's at least a part of us subconsciously that understands life isn't always beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? And if all you're seeing are these photos where everything's beautiful,
Yeah.
there's something in us that revolts against that.
Right.
You know, and I think that's why people hate clowns. Because you're like, life isn't always funny.
Yeah.
Why do you always have a smile on your face?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, and I'm sure people have other opinions, but like, I don't love clowns because I look at that and I'm like, that's not realistic. You can't always be happy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you are happy all the time, it's unnatural and it's creepy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, there's that. But
yeah. Okay, so just to round up this section, what is your most reliable tech? What's the thing that, if you're going to fall back on it, and this is the tech that you're going to use, what is it?
I don't know.
I mean, for me, I mentioned it a while ago, you know, power outage, I'm going to grab a Game Boy and play probably some old school Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Game Boys, they're, you know, 90s generated kind of technology.
Yeah.
And I grew up at the last end of the 90s and the early 2000s. So that's one of those things that we did a lot.
Sure.
But that's one of those things that I'm like, if I want to feel comfortable and I want to go back and rely on something, that's going to be one of those things.
Yeah.
But your vinyl record player, I mean, I know that's one.
Yeah, that'd probably be what I would go to. I mean, if I'm just sitting there and chilling and, you know, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to that. And over Alexa or any, you know, or for any streaming service.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm here. I'm going to pick out a record.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that'd have to be my answer then.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come back for round 3.
Yeah.
And talk about peace of mind comfort.
Okay.
Okay, we are back for round 3. We've got round 3 of cocktails, and it is what?
I feel like I've been drinking all day. This is something we're calling still waters.
Okay.
Still waters. And, you know, this goes with our last tech category, peace of mind, that kind of thing. Really, when you think of peace and relaxation in terms of cocktails, you want something that's a little more herbal. You know, like the ultimate calming beverage is like a hot tea. Right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, what's in hot tea? A lot of herbs and spices and things like that. And warmness. You get warmth through the bourbon, even though it's an iced cocktail. But that bourbon is inherently warmer. And, you know, we just have a lot of good herbal, natural things in here. We got a honey simple. We've got a little bit of fresh lemon juice, fresh sage leaves. Yeah. That I went upstairs and pulled out of the garden bed. And really with the sage, you just have to kind of like just put it in your hand and like clap a little bit, rub it around just to get some of the oils out, and then you can get that in there, muddle it around. I did a little Angostura bitters. And then instead of, I could have stuck with Green River, but we gave a lot of shout out to them. I want to take a moment and show off one of my new favorite distilleries. Time sipping away. Okay. So Abstraction Spirits is out of Paducah, which we mentioned. They had a couple good new ones coming out. What's cool about Abstraction, I mean, there's a lot of cool things. Their stuff is really good, for one. And in this area, it's rare to find anybody that's not doing just like bourbon and moonshine. Yeah. Because that seems to be the Western Kentucky way. They also have a vodka. They have a rum, and then they just started making their own gin. Yeah. And their gin is so good, like we made that our house gin. So it's really, really good. And what they do on all their labels is they find pieces of art from local artists, and they buy the rights to that to use it as their label. So all their labels are beautiful. They're very artistic. Just a really cool spot. And I've gotten to know a lot of the guys up there, and they're just fantastic people as well. Yeah. So shout out to Abstraction Spirits. We will feature them a little bit more in a future episode.
Yes. Yeah, there's a rumor that we might go talk with some of them. But I'm excited about that because this is good, just the mixed cocktail that you've made. But if this is good and that's what's in it, I can't wait to taste the other stuff that they've got. So,
that's
you know,
killer. Their stuff is killer. So, yep.
Be looking out for that episode where we go explore more of abstraction.
We've done a lot with bourbon, especially bourbon cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
We've hinted at a lot of different things with bourbon.
Yeah.
And we decided that stick with us because we're gonna finish off season 1 with just big heavy bourbon.
Yeah.
Presence,
yes.
if you will. So we're gonna deep dive into the bourbon making process, the bourbon terminologies, all the different things. So we're gonna bourbon it up.
Yes, I would say you'd be tired of bourbon, but you won't be. You'll be thrilled and ready for one more.
Yeah, I mean, do you ever really get tired of bourbon?
Yeah.
So
I don't think so. I think it's, you're tired for it for the night, and then you just go to bed, and the next day you wake up and you're like, I could have another bourbon tonight.
Yeah. Oh, tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't wake up and go, oh, I'm
No.
yeah.
What's
some bourbon aged maple syrup on my French toast.
In 14 hours, I'll be ready for another one. Yeah. Is more so the way to go. But, what did you call this drink? Still waters? Yeah. So.
Mental peace.
Yeah. In the same token, for technology, having that technological peace of mind, you get comfort from different ways. One of those is things like a smart stove shutoff, or a leak sensor, Droplet has one of those. But basically, you're looking for devices that work in the background. They only do the work when the work is required. Okay, so they're not this, it's not an active thing like you're constantly on your phone scrolling. It's not that. It's this device is in the background. It's working 24/7. If there is a problem, it does something for the problem. Yeah. Like if you have a leak in your faucet, it's going to let you know, hey, your faucet's leaking. Or if your stove is on and it's been on for 19 hours, it's like, okay, this is a problem.
And it's a gas stove.
Yeah, it should not be on for 19 hours. So it will automatically shut that off.
It's the kind of tech you hope you don't need, but you're glad you have it.
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to give a brief explanation of something that we are doing using Axis products. Axis is one of the brands of cameras that we have. They're fantastic brand, security cameras, but they do other things too. Access control, strobe systems, network speakers, all kinds of stuff. But we are, for one of our customers, doing a notification system with strobes, which have audio and light patterns on them. Along with the strobes, we have network horns and drop ceiling speakers and other kinds of speakers as well. Essentially, when somebody detects that there is a problem in the building, this is for manufacturing processes, if there's a fire in the building, they're going to run up and they're going to hit this button. Okay, when they hit the button for the fire, it's going to spread a message to all the network devices that there's a fire in the building and flash a red color with this really annoying alarm sound to let everybody on the factory floor know it's time for you to get your butt out of the building.
Sure.
The same is true for, unfortunately, active aggressor, which is, you think active shooter, but they don't necessarily have to have a gun. They could have a knife or whatever. So active aggressor, weather like tornado, and like environmental things, right? So all of those, they have manual processes where you can physically push a button, but they could be tied to non-manual processes. Something like your fire detection, which senses there's a fire in the building, then triggers an output that triggers an input to our system that then does the red and the alarm, right? Or you could have a weather radio from NOAA that has an output. So when it detects there's a tornado in your county, it triggers an output to our system and sends a weather alert. Now you got yellow colors and alarm system.
Sure.
For active aggressor, it could be motion detection or aggression detection on a camera. that sees a person with a gun, and it depicts that object and then triggers the system to go blue with an alarm kind of thing. So the peace of mind comes in lots of flavors, but the thing that it gives you is comfort, knowing that even if 99.9% of the time you don't know this system exists, the 0.1% allows you to feel comfortable knowing that you had a system in place that was ready to go to tell you when something was wrong. And also to potentially fix whatever the thing that was wrong. So we talked about, the stoves. It may shut off your stove, or the leak detection. It's going to notify you that you have a leak in your faucet and that kind of thing. But then
the ding when you leave the refrigerator door open.
Exactly. Exactly. So then, thinking manufacturing, but also thinking like construction and other, trade skills, you can have radar-based fall detection, where it's now using sound and radio waves to determine if someone is standing versus if they're laying down on the floor. Because if you got people in a construction zone and all of a sudden your radio waves are telling you that there's a person lying on the floor, well, no one just lies down on the construction site.
Sure.
So if someone is, prostrate on the floor, then probably there's an issue. They've fallen or gotten hurt in some way, or maybe there's some kind of medical incident, whatever it is. But now it can send notifications to maybe the foreman on the job site, or to somebody else that's there, maybe in the foreman trailer or whatever it is, to say, hey, you've got a person who is laying down and they shouldn't be in this environment. So again, this is all part of the psychological thing called cognitive offloading. You aren't using tech actively, you're buying the ability to stop worrying. To me, I mentioned earlier social anxiety. I have anxiety about different things, just as me as a person, and the things that the way that I behave and the way that I think. Being able to say, hey, I'm going to pay a little bit more extra for this feature that allows my brain to not think about this thing.
Sure.
I've got a lot to think about. I'm general manager of an IT company. I have a lot to think about, and all of my, all of our customers. If I can take one thing off of that list, then I'm going to take one thing off that list.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'll pay a little bit more to take something off that list. At the same time, you have agentic AI. We talked about AI a couple of weeks ago, several weeks ago now. And you can add agentic AI to things like your HVAC system, and your appliances. And you can monitor power draws and vibration patterns. Basically, your device will know it's failing before you do. Think of that like if you're in your car and you drive your car every single day, and then all of a sudden, the next day you get up, you get in your car, and you hear a sound you've never heard before. Like, I know my car doesn't sound like that. So in your brain, you're like, there is something wrong with this. Well, agentic AI can do the same thing. Your car behaves this way every single day on your pattern to work, and all of a sudden there's a difference to the way your car is behaving. Or your appliance, or your home, or whatever it is. Whatever kind of tech, thing with a motor, thing with an engine, thing with electricity coursing through it. Agentic AI can now say, this thing does not behave this way 99.9% of the time. You need to be watching this thing to determine if you're going to have a problem. And then, if it's like, say, your refrigerator. Well, your refrigerator has, I don't know, some bearing in it for whatever reason. It's like, oh, the bearing in your refrigerator is going to fail in a couple of weeks. Well, if you fix the bearing ahead of time, I don't know why your refrigerator has bearings, but it's a good example. And we're 3 drinks in. So, you can fix the bearing before the bearing totally fails, instead of your bearing failed and now 30 other components that relied on that bearing now failed as well. So now you got to replace the whole refrigerator.
Sure.
So it's about finding the things before they become big problems. So it gives you peace of mind in that regard. Another thing is the hypervigilance cure. So you don't worry all day. Instead, like as an example, I have Alexa controlled lights and thermostats and fans and all these things. So I might leave the house one day and go, oh, did I turn the thermostat down? Did I change the temperature so it's not, blaring 50 degrees and the fan wide open when it's a 90-degree day? Because, gosh, that electricity bill is going to be through the roof.
Right.
So I can look at my app and go, I did turn the thermostat to a different temperature. Or I can go, oh, nope, I didn't. So I can now change it remotely. And for somebody like me who worries about, or not worries, but has anxiety about random stupid things throughout the day, that's really nice to have that comfort level. Yeah. It's kind of like, in IT, we have dashboards for everything.
Okay.
Software dashboards where we're looking at things. It's a dashboard on your car kind of thing too. If you see blinking red lights, that's typically is a problem.
Great. Yeah.
This kind of technology and the way that we're going with the comfort for peace of mind is like looking at a dashboard and seeing all green lights. Everything is good to go. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned the kind of devices that I have, the Alexa devices. What do you have in your home that gives you peace of mind?
I don't have it in my home, but what I thought of while you were talking was the movie Minority Report.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you have those 3 psychic people that are connected, and they see people who are about to commit crimes.
Yeah.
So that they can be stopped before the crime is committed.
Yeah.
That's what I think of with this. It gives peace of mind to the whole society because serial killers are stopped before they kill.
Yeah.
And that's great. So, yeah. I mean, it's not exactly in-home tech, but it makes me sleep better at night knowing there's weird little bald psychics in a tank.
Did you ever watch Persons of Interest?
No. But I know Jesus was in it.
Oh, yes. It took me a second to realize what you were talking about, but yes. He was...
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah. In that show, he builds not him, another guy builds a machine. It's the guy from Fallout Season 1, if anybody on Amazon Prime has watched that. But he builds a machine that analyzes behavior. Mm-hmm. It's AI to the extreme. Analyzes human behavior and determines when they're about to or thinking about committing a crime. Okay. It can then alert Jesus, that character. Yeah. And he can then...
Jesus already knows.
Well, yes, yeah. So it's fine. But that character can go and he can go and take care of it before the crime is committed. At least that was the theory of how the machine was supposed to work. Mm-hmm. There's, throughout the several seasons of the show, that doesn't always work out that way. But the idea was stopping a crime before it's committed. Yeah. So that's an interesting little
that's
relation.
Goes.
Yeah.
So that's comfort tech, man. Stopping killers before they kill.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like my Alexa device. I like being able to control the thermostat, the fans, the lights, whatever. Yeah. I really like when I drive home at night, coming from here. Not that it's a long drive, but when I get home, when my Alexa system realizes that I'm physically at home, it turns a porch light on for me, turns a kitchen light on for me. So a lot of times I have my dog when I'm here, but if I don't have my dog knows that I'm home whenever I pull into the driveway because the lights turn on. Sure.
And excited, wags his tail.
Oh yeah, he meets me at the door almost every time, which is, Crypto's a great dog. So, but there's little pieces of comfort in all of those things.
Sure.
Whether it's physical comfort, some kind of technology that makes you feel better physically, whether it is passive comfort.
Ooh, I thought of something.
Okay.
I have a software that I use for payroll,
Mm-hmm.
and it pays my taxes for me.
Okay.
Every week we do payroll, it pays all that, automatically takes the money out and sends it to the IRS, and I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's a huge comfort because the IRS sucks balls. So,
yes.
yeah, there you go. That's my condensation. So yeah, that's my answer. I'm going with that. Forget Minority Report.
No, yeah. Well, yeah. Any kind of comfort that technology can give you, that's what it's there for, right? I mean, tech is not there to make your life harder. It's there to make your life easier.
Do you ever get anxiety worrying about that the tech says it's working, but it's really not working?
Okay. That's a very different conversation because I work in IT, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we do is manage services. So to me, like we do cloud backups of devices. That's one of my biggest points of anxiety for our managed service customers is our backup system actually backing up their devices? And so, of course, then I go and I jump on and I look and I confirm, okay, yes, there is an image that was taken from this day and this day and this day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All the dashboard lights are green, but secretly everything's failing.
Yeah. Oh, that would, oh man.
You're not going to sleep tonight.
To this point, that has not happened. Typically, the green dashboard lights give me a sense of comfort, like, okay, this is working. And I know it is because I have had to do backups of people's machines using that system. And so, you know, if I'm, it's not green lights necessarily in that system, but the effect of the green light.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at the dashboard, I'm like, yes, I have a backup of all these machines. Don't have a backup on that one. That's getting fixed this week. So that's yes. But as far as anxiety because tech isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, yeah, I have that all the time. Yeah. But that's you know, that's what I do for a living. So for me, it's very different because I see different aspects of tech every day, minute by minute, not, you know, day by day, week by week. Minute by minute, I am going to be involved in 30 different systems.
Sure. And
so I see that way faster than the average person who's sitting at home just wondering if their computer is going to load their email. Like, you know, it's very different. In your case, like, is your payment system going to work? Is your keg going to let, you know, beer come out? It's very different than me looking at 30 different systems trying to determine if every software and hardware device is all doing what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Now, the flip side of that coin is, on your side, you've got in this room 30 different people you have to deal with.
Right.
And now you're like, okay, I got to...
Make sure your beer system's working.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very different. That's why I went into technology, so I didn't have to deal with people. Now I'm general manager and I deal with people all the time.
You forgot that people use technology.
Yeah. Yes. So it's no, but I do love interacting with people, and one of my biggest things is there's a reason, you know, our company is named the way that it is. But for me personally, I enjoy looking for ways to solve other people's problems. Maybe that's a custom solution. Maybe that's a pre-made solution. A lot of times it's just listening. And that's the same thing as, you know, bartenders and barbacks. Just listening to the customer can tend to solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, you know, I've got this and this and this problem. And I'm like, oh, okay. I've seen this before. Or maybe I haven't seen it before, but I'm like, but have you tried doing this? You know, I'm the very listen and fix it kind of person.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I have an experience and a background that's different than that person. So if I just listen, I can understand, okay, I see where you're coming from. There's about 3 different things you can try when you get home tonight. Try this thing. If that doesn't work, try this thing. If that doesn't work, try this thing. At the end of the night, you're going to find that one of those 3 things is probably going to fix the issue. It's because, not because I'm so much smarter than whoever I'm talking to, but because I have a different experience and background.
Sure.
And I have different knowledge than what they do. I had one of our customers made a comment one time several years ago. They work in agriculture and seed and feed and stuff like that in agriculture, grain companies and things like that. And they said, I would not expect you to understand our business 100%, just like I wouldn't be expected to understand your business 100%. Like, that's true. I do my job so you don't have to.
Right.
You do your job so I don't have to. I like to think of myself as being smart enough to be able to pick up most anything that I had to, if I had to in this world, but I don't have to.
Sure.
Because there's other people doing other things. So just like in technology, there's technology for different things. There's technology for doing things that other technology or other people don't have to do. I'm the kind of person that's going to observe the technology to determine what your problem is and figure out how to fix it. Other people are not that way, and that's fine. Everybody is their own person.
Sure.
It makes all kinds to make the world go round, and that is my way deeper than I was planning to go on this episode kind of thing, but psychology is the way that it is. We give comfort in lots of different ways.
That's right.
So unless you are the kind of person who does not enjoy hugs, give your family a hug. Because chances are they need one, even if you don't.
That's right.
We live in a...
And if you can't give them a hug, give them a sweater.
Yes, and then let the sweater do the hugging. Unless they are sensitive to certain types of cotton and wool.
Cashmere.
Yeah. Don't give them a turtleneck sweater. Give them like a regular sweater.
You don't want that.
All that being said, we've broached lots of topics in today's episode about comfort, different kinds of comfort, different drinks of comfort.
Yes.
Next week, I think we're going to talk about maybe some cables, connections, physical parts of technology. And then in a couple of weeks, we got a couple different things.
We got some stuff planned.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
The end of season 1 is looking pretty nice. I'm excited for some of those things.
We have
So
a different background.
yeah,
So
may have different tech and different background, different. Yeah, we got lots of things to figure out between now and then.
if it doesn't happen, you're not paying attention anymore anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So
That being said, this is episode 15 of Tipsy Tech Talk. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, all those fancy dancy things that we wish you were doing every week anyways. Let the algorithm feed itself so that YouTube knows that you care about us. And ring that bell so that you get notifications.
let us know what you do to be comfortable. Let us know what you eat and drink to be comfortable. And of course, don't drink it and drive.
That's right. Yeah.
That's very uncomfortable for everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Local laws and follow local laws and regulations is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And stay tipsy.
That's right. We are.
We'll see you next time.